also see a lot of good things in people come out. It kind of restores your faith in humanity. We do a lot like the public. We watch the weather. We get information from the National Weather Service, our local news stations, and also from our emergency management directors who keep in close contact with those services. As far as preparation, we do like a lot of folks do, depending on what the weather service is telling us, whether it's going to be cold weather emergency or a spring or summer storm type emergency. We keep adequate supplies on hand. We make sure things are ready to go just like every day, but we'll keep extra supplies on hand if we need them. We have a large number of folks who need assistance, whether it be EMS or whether it be food, water, whatever. We try to keep that on hand. Off-duty personnel are usually informed ahead of time so that they can be ready to respond back to our station or our city so that we can take care of our community and the residents in it. The general public thinks as first responders always the fire, police, and EMS and our hospitals, when generally, you think about it, anyone in need who has a need is going to have somebody who's going to try to help, whether it be a neighbor, be a church, be a volunteer organization. So first responders are always going to be there. If you're living in a neighborhood and your neighborhood has a disaster hitting that area and you're not affected, generally people, especially here in Oklahoma, they're going to go and try to see what they can't do to help, whether it's to help those persons directly or indirectly through community organizations. It's had a large impact. It's been my whole life, actually. I came from a family of first responders, either whether it be police or fire or the military. And I'd say that we see a lot of bad things that happen, but we also see a lot of good things in people come out. It kind of restores your faith in humanity when we have natural disasters that happen where people are coming out from all over, from all walks of life to come out and help. They're donating their time, their finances, their energy, everything, and they're willing to give their shirt off their own back just to help someone in need. And it seems when there's people that don't have things that are more willing to give up stuff. I'm not saying that folks who have don't, because they do, but you see a lot of effort from those folks who you think they need help themselves and they're saying, no, don't help me, help someone else. So it kind of restores your faith in humanity and people wanting to help and take care of each other.
About 2 years ago, we had a car run through the back of our garage and a lady inside the car was hurt. And just waiting for that help to get there and help her was a huge relief for us, listening to the sirens. Being retired from the Coast Guard, it was really the first time I was on the other end of the sirens, and just having them show up so fast was certainly a relief. I think people would be responding and helping out their neighbors and whatnot, but it'd be an untrained effort. There would still be response, but having the training needed for the first responders to arrive and show up and actually be effective would be minimized with untrained responders. Well, her dad was fire chief for volunteer fire department. He in Alabama for quite a few years, so he was give him a shout out. Sam Dykes.
We really talk about four phases in emergency management. The first one is mitigation, which is what can you do to prevent disasters from occurring or lessen their impact. In terms of weather, things like having safe rooms are important because they give you a place to take shelter to lessen the impact of the storm, to build buildings that, and when you're building your home, that you have substantially constructed walls, that you have hurricane clips on your roofs, and other things that you can do to make your home as safe as possible. Then in preparedness, getting ready to respond to disasters, things like having a family disaster supplies kit, a family disaster plan, a tornado plan, knowing what to do means of getting weather information, getting the warnings, knowing what to do when those warnings come out, and having that supplies kit to take care of yourself in the immediate tornado times. Then, of course, response. When the warning is issued, taking the shelter is important for families. We are encouraging our communities to put their plans into action. We work with our responders in our communities, our police, our fire, our EMS people, to make sure that needs are being taken care of in the community. And if they need additional resources, we work to get them the additional resources that they can respond with to help the citizens that were impacted by the events. And then recovery, putting the community back to the pre-disaster condition. That is rebuilding, cleaning off debris, economic assistance, and those things. We work with all the VOAD agencies like the Red Cross, the Salvation Army, church groups, individuals and families that come down to help, and we help coordinate that the response and recovery activity in the community. So we're busy 365 working on those plans. We encourage everybody to have a family disaster plan, to have a 72-hour disaster supplies kit, to have their plan in place wherever they are, know what to do when severe weather is possible, what's your plan of action going to be, and then stay tuned to the weather and make sure that when a warning is issued or the threatening weather is approaching, that you take and put that plan into action, that you take cover, and that you do those things necessary to protect yourself and your family. We also recommend that you have with you a NOAA weather radio or a cell phone or some means of getting weather information during the disaster. So it's really important to have every day where you are, what you're going to be doing that day, have a plan for that.